rattlesnake. Look at her, she's posturing up. Holy smokes! This is a big diamondback. I'm gonna pull her out just into the open here, where y'all can kind of get a better look at her. The state of Florida is home to some of the most iconic wildlife that the U.S. has to offer. This state is home to over 40 snake species, 6 of which are venomous. And on this adventure into longleaf pine forests and sand hills of central Florida, we're on the search for rattlesnakes. Florida is home to 3 separate species of rattlesnake, 2 of which live in central Florida. The pygmy rattlesnake, which is the world's smallest rattlesnake species, and the eastern diamondback, which is the largest rattlesnake species in the world and can potentially grow to be over 7 feet in length. Now, rattlesnakes love palmetto plants. You can see all up in here. That's where they like to sit during the day. Now, they'll also go in gopher tortoise burrows, which we've seen a lot of, and I'm actually hoping to see some gopher tortoises out. The gopher tortoise is a species that's vital to the other animals here in Florida, digging tunnels that provide shelter from forest fires and the insane midday heat. Luckily for us, even though they're a protected species, these tortoises are fairly common in this region and are pretty easy to spot grazing near their burrows midday. Have a look at this. Hello, sweetie. This is a gopher tortoise. Oh, hello, baby. Oh, it's okay. See what she's doing? They don't have a hinged shell like a box turtle, so what they do is puff out their feet and they make a loud sound and just kind of sit there. They're very armored, even their arms, so she's very protected. Gopher tortoises are actually super abundant in the state of Florida, but they're an endangered species overall and a protected one. This would be a good size adult, I'm guessing female. Hello. Oh goodness, you're loud. These guys are little bulldozers. What they'll do is they'll walk around certain little areas of grass and it'll basically mow it down. Oh, it's okay, I'm sorry, I'm scaring you. Good little footprints she leaves. These footprints are just everywhere around here. And I have to guess, her burrow is somewhere over here because this is where she's going. She's not too happy with me messing with her, but these turtles are really, really sweet. And unfortunately, one of the main killers of these guys around here are still cars. They're doing a great job. Oh, I'm sorry. They're doing a great job conserving these turtles in the state, but you know, they're still getting killed, they're still getting bulldozed, so they're definitely gonna need further protection. We're gonna let this little girl go on her way and keep looking for snakes. See you, baby. This is a great sign that we're in the right area. Rattlesnakes will often hang out in and around burrows, and right now we are seeing tons of tortoises. These little bulldozers are just everywhere, digging through the sand and chowing down on grass. Not a care in the world. The gopher tortoise provides cover for rattlesnakes, but also for another very rare snake species that lives here, and it happens to be the largest native snake in the U.S. If you know, you know. That is a shed skin of actually exactly what we came here to look for, very specifically. This habitat is really good for rattlesnakes, but this is the snake that we came here to look for. If you know what this is, good on you. And if you've caught one, I'm jealous. This is a beautiful snake, endangered species, that helps you with identification. Look at the belly. Big snake. This was a big snake shed too. This is just the tail. See that? That is just the tail of the snake. I hope we find it. Seeing a shed skin of a snake like this is incredible, because they will often co-occur with rattlesnakes. It's the only snake here that can pose a threat to a full-grown eastern diamondback, which often earns it the nickname the Emperor Snake. Now what I'm looking for right now, I gotta watch my step here because all these cactuses. I'm really looking ahead of me to see if I can see a rattlesnake taking off, because it is kind of warming up right now. It is morning time still, but they would be moving around right now. And I'm thinking more diamondback here. There could potentially be a pygmy, but this looks really good for diamondbacks. I know that the odds of finding a diamondback here specifically are not that great. But this habitat looks great, so it's still kind of in the back of my mind to find one. While this habitat is absolutely perfect for diamondbacks, it's very hard to guarantee that you'll see one of these snakes or not. But with all the indicators so far, I'd say our odds weren't the worst. After years of searching the edge of this snake's range, seeing many hit in the road, and studying them as best as I can, it finally happened. Rattlesnake. Whoa! That is a diamondback. Hello, sweetie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes! Look at this! Look how she's posturing up. Holy smokes! She is loud. Holy smokes! Have a look at that rattle. That is insane! Yes! That is incredible. This is a big diamondback. I'm going to pull her out just into the open here, where y'all can kind of get a better look at her. This snake hook is good for flipping stuff, good for moving smaller snakes, but it's not the best for a big heavy-bodied snake like this, so I'll make do, but... What a score! And an incredible animal. To get a better look at this snake, I'm going to go ahead and get him out in the open just a little bit, but I've got to be careful. Not only do they pack some super serious venom, but they also boast an incredible strike range. Oh guys, here we go. It's been a long time waiting. This is an eastern diamondback rattlesnake. This is the largest species of rattlesnake in the entire world, and this is probably one of the most beautiful rattlesnakes you can even find. Have a look at that rattle. That rattle started going off the second we saw this snake. And look at how many beads there are on it. I'd say there's about a dozen or more beads on that rattle. Now one thing you'll notice about these guys is they have a light greenish tinge. And it's actually a really, really good camouflage, especially in these palmettos. Now, you can't really see it too well, but as a pit viper, they are going to have pits right between their nostril and their eye. Those are the heat-seeking pits. And that's why she's more aware of me than the camera waving in front of her, because she knows striking that is probably not going to do any good. She will try to strike at me, though. If I'm close enough, she will go whack, strike, and it is just, it's powerful, for sure. Now, this snake has already shown me that it can strike a pretty decent range. Much more athletic than a canebrake rattlesnake, in my opinion. Notice how it's posturing up in that S-shaped position. This snake is ready to strike, 100%. And a snake like this packs a punch. A snake like this doesn't bite like a racer snake or a rat snake with that little, I'm gonna bite you. They bite past you, and they bite like they're gonna punch. Getting bit by a rattlesnake, you're gonna feel it, and it's gonna feel like you got punched. It's gonna be like, whack! Because what they do is, they hold their mouth up, fangs up here, and go boom! As hard as they can into whatever they're biting. Because they're not biting to hold on like this. They're biting to whack, get that venom in, and get at it. And he's actually hissing. I know it's harder to hear over the sound of the rattle, but he is actually hissing. He's going, puffing his body up with air. Now this snake has a serious amount of venom, specifically hemotoxic venom. Now they have such a large venom yield that I would have to consider this one of the more dangerous snakes that we've had to deal with. Of course, the snake doesn't want to be messed with. It's not coming towards me. It's not coming towards the camera. He's just sitting still, wanting to be left alone. Now, diamondback rattlesnakes get their name from their patterning. Perfect diamonds all down the back. It's not a chevron pattern like the canebrake rattlesnake. They're diamonds. And out west is the western diamondback, which is a very common species out there. But the eastern diamondback is much less common than them. Even in their home state of Florida and Georgia, probably the most common states to find this snake in, they're still fairly uncommon. You don't see that many of them. You'll see maybe a couple a year crossing roads or hanging out on trails, but that's about it. Absolutely gorgeous. Never seen an animal like it. Now these snakes out here, I have to guess, are mostly feeding on big rabbits. And looking at this one is very well fed. very well heated up, especially for this time of morning. It's not even that sunny, and she's already pretty well heated up. It's January right now, meaning these snakes can be pretty much active all year round, especially in this part of the state. We're more in South Florida. The more north you go, they tend to be out in the summer months, late spring, early fall kind of time. Wow, that is insane. I've been looking for one of these snakes in the state of Mississippi for a couple years now, pretty intensely. In fact, I've probably put over 200 hours looking for one of these snakes. That just shows how uncommon they are on the edge of their range. But Florida is definitely the place to go if you want to see one of these guys. I'm so glad I'm finally getting to show you guys the world's largest rattlesnake species, the Diamondback. Alright, well, we didn't move her far, so I'm just going to put her back in there to where she can be comfortable and continue on with her day. Whoop. It is very hard to move this snake with this kind of hook, I tell you. I'm trying to be gentle. Well, that is incredible. Yes! Rattlesnake. Well guys, that is it for today's video, and that was absolutely incredible. We really hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed this video, go back and check out some of our rattlesnake videos we've done in Louisiana with cane breaks. I think you'll absolutely love it. That's all for today, and we will see you guys next time.